This is the Battle of Corinth on Legendary difficulty. Coming into this battle with only one long-range battery, 14,000 men against about 18,000. So normally 14,000 against 18,000 is a easy victory. But in this case, the enemy has a lot of artillery and is in very good defensive positions. So I'm going to send a very large force over to the left flank, the Union left, or the Confederate left. I'm still getting used to fighting the Confederate campaign. Still haven't completely adjusted. So the Confederate left is heavy, and these guys on the right are just to basically come over here and annoy him and get him to attack. I do have a 24-pound howitzer there. These guys should be able to stay in cover and do fine. So that's my bet. The guy's in the center. Hopefully he attacks in the center. And I intend to roll some artillery up and hit him. Hopefully he'll charge into the open, which he seems to be doing pretty much. But on his far left, he's in surprisingly good cover, and that's no good. I don't want to exchange shots with him. So, yeah, I think I might have played this far on, I don't know if I played this far on Colonel. I don't remember. If I played this on Colonel difficulty, I don't remember this battle even a little bit. So, yeah, I'm not sure where the enemy comes in. I just want to shoot him when he comes in, rout him. I have 2 artillery over there. That should make anything he has that comes in there a rout. And yeah, it's amazing. Every Union battle, I know exactly how many units and how strong they are and when they come in and what time and where. I know exactly where they come in on the map. And because I've played every battle dozens of times. And in this campaign, it's kind of neat to not know. I mean, it's kind of neat to have the element of, I don't know exactly how this is going to turn out. It's kind of fun. I think that's one of the things I'm really enjoying about the Confederate campaign is I just don't know. Well, I don't know, first of all, what the enemy's going to do, exactly when the enemy comes into the battle, reinforcements, and I don't know how the AI is going to behave. There are times in the Union campaign I know exactly what the enemy is going to do. And you know you're going to move up and take a position, the enemy's going to attack, and you know how many units, and I mean it's just absolutely predictable because you've done it so many times. But this is kind of cool because when I'm setting this up, I really, there's an element of I don't know what the enemy's going to do. And it's kind of cool because you have to make the best decision you can, and it's more immersive in some ways. So I see his artillery, and my long-range 20-pound Parrot is going to get working on that guy. But if you watch my battles, you know I'm not going to do anything until the fighting on the Confederate left is done, and I can bring the rest of my army into the battle. Now this is, I really feel the clock ticking down because 2 hours and 27 minutes and nothing's moving. You know, that's pretty hard. And I know that this, you know, there's a short timer on this battle. And I want to get as many of them as I possibly can. I want to get them all if possible. And I'm just sitting here. I'm just waiting. And it's nerve-wracking. Yeah, all we can do is just keep chipping away at his army. And I remember thinking at this point in the battle, man, when does reinforcements come in? I mean, come on, it's time already. Show up so I can kill you, so I can get moving. You know, it's time is ticking down. And yeah, if too much time ticks down, I can't kill all these guys. So this is going to be a disaster because his manpower pool is going to go to the sky if we just sit here and do this. So that's what I'm thinking at this time. And I'm thinking, man, I should have watched some more videos. So, yeah, we're just waiting and exchanging artillery shots and some infantry. Yeah, the little force on the Confederate right is doing what they're supposed to do, which is just kind of engage the enemy and wear them out and get visibility so we can take shots on his artillery and, maybe kill some cav. That would be a nice bonus. Hadn't really planned on that. But yeah, if we can push this and take the next clump of woods, get the enemy to actually charge forward, that would be good. Because we don't have to actually push and take anything with this small force. We just want to drive the enemy crazy. Get him to move his units around. Finally, he comes in. Look at that. It's at 2 hours. Man, that was a long time. Um, okay, and when his reinforcements came in, that triggered some kind of an attack. That's good. I want his units to come out of their positions and attack. And yeah, my units are all in good shape. And this looks pretty good. We're going to take some shots in the open, but in the end, we're going to kill all these guys. And yeah, and say hello to two 24-pound howitzers at canister range. So there's only one way this is going to go. And the only thing I don't want him to do is say, I'm only concerned if he routes, say, to the left or south and gets out of this pocket. But if I can pin him, then he's dead. So I have some guys run over here. He thinks he wants to attack my right, and I'll hit him in the flank. So the AI is not so good at flanks, protecting flanks, and there's been some discussion of that. The enemy is not good at, like at Antietam, there was a clump of units, but he completely ignored his flanks. Not that the Union didn't do that in a few battles, but generally, officers were pretty good about protecting their flanks, because if they got flanked, the men would run. So, and that happened at Antietam. In the Dunker Church area and in the woods area, when men got flanked, they just ran. They weren't going to stand there and take flanking shots because it was suicide. So, wow, his cav is dead already? That's nice. So, just to state the obvious, on Brigadier General, maybe even Major General, I might feel a tiny bit bad about doing this. It's a little cheesy. On Legendary, I don't care. The AI has so many advantages on Legendary, and the game is so unimmersive in how powerful the enemy army is. I don't care. I'm going to take every single advantage that I possibly can, and just hurt the enemy as much as possible on Legendary. So, yeah, I don't care. So we're going to do everything we can at, all's fair in love and war and ultimate general civil war. And I'm just gonna milk the system for everything I can. So like these guys right here, they should surrender. They're complete, but they won't. So okay, we're just gonna play. We're just gonna play it. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get one artillery and a couple infantry moving, and a couple guys are gonna stand here with an artillery. Finish this up. And the reason I'm going to leave an artillery, it's going to make it impossible for the enemy units in the pocket to fight their way out or survive or do well. Or this is Legendary. I mean, these guys recover in like a second of routing, and that artillery is going to make that impossible. So, yeah, I would really like to kill the commander here. If I'm going to do well in this battle, I need to kill his officers. His officers are going to make this battle a lot tougher because he's in pretty good fortified. Well, it's not so much that the fortified positions are great, it's that he's in a position where he's just going to inflict a lot of losses on my army that I don't want to take. That's pretty much it. I don't want to take the losses. Yeah, I have a detached skirmisher along the north edge of the board because I don't want him to start routing to the left. And I suspect that he will do that. So, yeah, the AI does calculate the detached skirmishers as an infantry unit when he's looking for a place to route to. So, if you keep a line of detached skirmishers along that possible route, he's less likely to go that way. And he's more likely to go along the edge of the board than, say, at a 45-degree angle toward the center of the map. So, yeah, it's just when you play way too many hours of Ultimate General Civil War, you start to become very aware of how the AI calculates things, and then you take advantage of it. So I'm rolling up the 24-pound howitzers. This little flanking attack is meant to draw the enemy over to the Union left, because my plan is to hit both flanks. I don't want to attack so much across the open area. Now I'm having a unit move into that open area to take a shot on the flank of skirmisher just because I can, but I don't want to get my units out into the open unless I have lots of flank shots or 3-to-1 shots or something. My guys on the Confederate right are all in good cover. That's as good as it gets. So that's good. I'm happy with that. I don't want my army in the open. So we're going to try to get a capture here. And my little expeditionary force to the south is almost in position. That's a long walk. But what I decided was moving from the right to the far left to the Confederate right and participating in this attack was two things. It was too long a walk, and secondly, I don't need any more units over there. I have plenty of coverage. I have a lot of infantry, and I have plenty of units over there. The units in the north, in the corner, that are wiping those guys out, I want to bring them down on the Union right flank and take this clump of woods. And if my attack on his left has been successful, he should have pulled his troops that way. So, yeah, one of the things that I did at Second Bull Run that probably made the battle harder is I didn't attack his right flank as hard as I should have, because those were my best troops. I had them just kind of sit out. But if I had attacked his right flank, his center would not have been as strong as it was. So, and that made the battle costlier. So in this case, I'm attacking his flank, and that will draw his units over to the Union left, and hopefully then when I attack the Union right, it'll be very weak. So I want these guys to attack right on the flank, the guys who are in the south, and then the guys that are going to move to the south who just finished wiping out the enemy force in the corner. They come down more like at an angle and hit more of the top, just because time. I mean, we just don't have time. It's already 11:32, and the clock is showing an hour and 26 minutes. We don't have a lot of time. So one of the reasons I'm having these guys attack the Union right is because I just don't have the time to move them to the other side of the map and get into the next phase of the battle. So it's no surprise, particularly, that yeah, I didn't get any captures in the north. Guy shattered. Yeah, now I get some shots on his artillery. That's great. Oh yeah, he's attacking with that skirmisher unit. That's perfect. Love that. Yeah, let's see more of that. That's great. Let's kill him. Yeah, his position right here is terrible. So the 24-pound howitzer is up. I have two 24-pound howitzers up now at that position. His artillery is exposed. Unfortunately, I'm taking some canister. But I don't think I'm going to take canister for long. So I'm going to lead with detached skirmishers and try to get into the woods. And if I have to, I'll melee this guy and drive him out of that fortified position. But I have one 24-pound howitzer there and a second one on the way. That shouldn't be necessary. But if it is, that's okay. I'll get him 2-to-1. He'll rout, and right behind these woods is just water. So obviously what I'm trying to do is push his right and left flank both into the open, preferably into that water between the two wood lines, and that would be ideal. But really, I'll take anything right now because it's only an hour and 13 minutes. It's 11:46, and what I do is I fall back. I have miscalculated. I've put points into logistics, but my units are running out of ammo. So I have to have them fall back and resupply, rest a little bit, and yeah, I'm gonna have to. I mean, I'm aware that the clock is ticking down, but it's the smart move. And if it means I don't get them all, it means I don't get them all. My mistake. I very seldom make a mistake with ammo, but that's an example of me making a mistake with ammo. But I'm also thinking if these guys get some morale back and they get some, they took some canisters, so maybe they get some morale back and get some condition back, they'll be in good shape when I launch the attack on the Union right. They'll be in better shape to launch another renewed attack on the Union left. So this would be an easy thing to do, or exactly the right call if I had plenty of time in this battle. The only thing that makes it a questionable call is that we don't have time. The clock is ticking down. So fortunately, while I pulled my infantry back, the AI decided to push forward and expose his flank again. And then my units get some ammo and charge forward and hit him in the flank and immediately rout him. Now his artillery is exposed again, so we're going to get some shots. So that worked out really well. That was just lucky. Notice that on the Confederate left, I have infantry up and some artillery, 24-pound howitzers. And I'm looking at that. My guys are in the woods. And yeah, he's in the woods and he has that fortification, but he's going to take fire from several directions. And he's going to take canister. Well, he's going to take exploding shell. That position's just going to collapse. And it looks like there's just an infantry and a skirmisher. That's not going to hold. So, yeah, I have a detached skirmisher start shooting at this guy in the center in the north just to weaken him. I lost a brigadier general. That's not good. But his left flank has totally collapsed. And his units are all routing. Hopefully I can kill his artillery. And now I have another 24-pound howitzer firing at his center. I'm sending a detached skirmisher as far south as I can for when he starts to rout. I don't want him to rout to the right. And I see his cav in the south. I know his cav is going to be irritating. So I'm getting shots on his artillery. I had some shots on his officer, but I didn't kill him. And that's why I'm hitting pause. I really want to get shots on his officer and his artillery. If I can kill that officer and his artillery in the next... And it's going to require micromanagement, but if I can pull that off, his position will be really bad. And also, you have to keep telling your long-range guns to keep firing at the battery you want to, because they will stop firing as soon as the enemy unit starts flashing white and retreating. So I keep telling my long-range gun, keep firing at this battery. I want to kill it. So, yeah, I need the 20-pound Parrots to keep firing at the battery that I want to kill. Because it will stop. And I mean, it'll stop firing and then fire at that infantry unit in the fortification, which is a complete waste of ammunition. Well, his position on the right, his right, just completely collapsed. It's like I knocked on the door and the door opened instantly. So that didn't take anything. All I did was set up the artillery, fired at him with some detached skirmishers, little infantry, and he's completely routing. He has one infantry unit. But that's not going to work out. That infantry unit's going to get a hit in the flank. And I'm going to take these woods very easily. Yeah, now his unit in the fortification to the north just collapsed. So if you take a look, his whole position has pretty much collapsed except for 2 infantry units. I'm going to take the woods on the right side of the map. And now I need to move my artillery forward. We have 50 minutes. And I'm concerned about his cav. His cav, I do not want his cav getting behind my line and attacking my 24-pound howitzers. I know he'll get behind my line and kill, and attack my 20-pound Parrots and 24-pound howitzers, because there's nothing else for him to do. There's no victory location to steal or anything like that. So, okay, I think, and I'm thinking about this at this point. If I don't take that flag, I think I get another 30 minutes in game. But where my army is and where his army is, I want to keep the pressure on his army. That means that I got to take the flag, which means I get less time than I really want. Like, he's attacking right now, and I really want to hit him right where he is. I'm right on top of the flag. So I make the decision just to push the attack. That is probably the wrong decision. There's probably something I could have done to shift units away from the center. But, the last thing I want is for him to, I don't know, attack the center of my line and get through it. I also have detached skirmishers over on the far side of the board with his cav. That turned out to be real good. His cav showed up. My detached skirmishers took some shots on him. My detached skirmishers are in the woods, so we're in good shape. I hit pause because I need to hit this guy. I need to hit his infantry and route it. I need to make sure my troops are in the right place. I need to make sure the 20-pound Parrots are moving. I need to make sure my infantry in the woods moving to the edge of the woods. Detached skirmishers are going to keep these guys bottled up right where they are in the open. But I can't push too hard on the Confederate left, because I'll drive these guys out of that little creek and into woods, and I don't want to drive them into the woods. Okay, this is annoying. He went through my line. Instead of retreating south, he's going to retreat north, looks like, and that's really That's really just annoying. Now we're going to have to chase him all the way to the north edge of the map, probably. That's what I'm thinking. So, okay, my troops on the Confederate left are going to hit these guys in the flank. And I really need some units to get down to the south edge of the map. Yeah, and here goes the victory location. 38 minutes until the end of the battle. And I'm pretty sure with the fall of this flag, I'm out of time. I mean, I have 38 minutes, so that's not good. Yeah, when I went into the battle, I knew the hard end as I'm watching the video. I forget what the hard end. Yes, and the commander's dead. This is going to make this much easier. Um, I think you do get some time. Like I'm thinking about it right now. I should have looked at before I go into every battle. I know how much time I have. So there's a hard end to this, and I'm not sure if it ends when the countdown timer clicks down. But you really don't. I do know that you don't get a whole bunch of time if you get any at all. So yeah, I mean, in this battle, you're just under the clock. I mean, it's just it's very limited amount of time, and you just have to keep moving, which is a little bit irritating because the first part of the battle, you notice I didn't move at all. My army just sat in place and watched the clock count down. This is very much. I know everybody else has played the Confederate campaign a lot more than I have, and so what I'm telling you, you know, but for a person who's playing the Confederate campaign seriously for the first time, yeah, it's exactly what people told me it would be. You really feel under the clock. You really feel time ticking down. Yeah, now I have 5 detached skirmishers running down that one tiny enemy cav unit. So, yeah, that's annoying. Okay, there are 22 minutes left. And, yeah, I have a line now blocking the cav unit. If nothing else, it'll keep him from stealing my supply wagon or killing my 20-pound parrots. So, the rest of these guys can now fight this battle. The 20-pound parrots are almost up. 19 minutes left on the clock. So we do have an encirclement. Technically, I guess, as soon as that unit gets into the far south of the line. Yeah, and he's already trying to escape, so I have a bunch of detached skirmishers over there. And I have to make sure that everybody fires on that guy, and the 24-pound howitzer doesn't stop firing on his flashing units. I need everybody to fire. Another brigadier general killed. So that sucks. Okay, that unit's very tiny. We can probably rout that guy. But I'm having an infantry unit fall back. Hopefully stop that guy. Stop him, stop him. Artillery, fire. Don't just look at them, fire. One of his units is really small, but he has 3 units over there, and I really don't want to get into melee with these guys. Okay, 2 of them captured, 1 of them shattered, and oh, the guy in the north shattered. So we got him. Yeah, I think we got them all. Probably at the last second would be my guess. So 12:55, that's probably the last second of the battle. 1 Harper's Ferry, 1400, lost 39. Like to do that all day. 2 generals deceased. I saw those pop up. Harper's Ferries, very good. Recovered some CS Richmonds. Yeah, I think we got them all. So that turned out to be really good. Got 3,100 men. We did get the captures right at the last second. Again, got 1,000 additional troops. So yeah, that all worked out. So And the manpower pool, 57 to 62. Training and armory are still very low. So I'll see you in camp.